How do you keep a baby alive when the baby monitor is just a sleepy uncle holding a wooden spear? That sounds like a terrible product review. No batteries, no night vision. Sometimes the uncle wanders off to chase a goat. But for most of human history, this was parenting. No hospitals, no antibiotics, no clean little baby bottles. No soft mattress shaped like a cloud. No parenting podcast explaining why your toddler is emotionally connected to a banana. Ancient parents had a much harder job. Their children were born into a world that did not care about childhood. Nights could be cold, food could vanish, a small cut could become dangerous, a crying baby could attract attention from animals. Insects or very tired adults who had not slept properly since the last ice age, and yet somehow. Human children survived, not all of them. The ancient world was harsh, childhood was risky. But enough survived that every person watching this is basically the result of thousands of successful prehistoric babysitting shifts. So what were the tricks? The first trick was simple. Do not leave the tiny human alone. Human babies are strange compared with many animals. A baby horse can stand soon after birth. A baby deer can wobble away on tiny legs. A human baby mostly arrives like a confused potato with lungs. Cute, yes, useful in a survival emergency. Not really, so ancient babies were carried. A lot, close to the body, near warmth, near milk, near the sound of breathing and heartbeat. A baby pressed against an adult was safer than a baby lying far away like a snack with cheeks. This helped with warmth. It helped with feeding. It helped adults notice tiny changes. A baby that was too quiet, too cold. Too weak or too restless could be noticed quickly. Before thermometers, touch was technology. Before alarms. Crying was information. Before baby monitors, there was constant closeness, but closeness alone was not enough. Because one adult cannot do everything. Try gathering food, making tools, watching the fire, avoiding snakes. Carrying water, remembering where the good berries grow, and calming a screaming baby at the same time. That is not parenting, that is a survival circus, so humans used one of their greatest tricks. They shared the child. Not like a toy, more like a very important, very loud community project. Mothers mattered enormously. Fathers could matter too, but children also survived because of grandmothers, older siblings, aunts. Uncles, cousins, neighbors, and trusted members of the group. This is one of the most important things about human survival. A child was not only a private family problem. A child was future hands, future knowledge, future memory. Future laughter, future help, and future survival for the group. So when one adult was exhausted, another could hold the baby. When one parent was gathering food, another person could watch the toddler. When a child wandered too close to danger, someone nearby could pull them back before nature gave a very harsh lesson. Ancient childhood was not just parenting. It was team defense. Another trick was fire. Fire was not only for cooking meat and making dramatic cave shadows. Fire made nights less terrifying. It gave warmth. It made camps more visible to humans and less inviting to some animals. It turned tough foods into softer foods. It created a circle where children could be watched, fed, and taught. A campfire was like an ancient living room, kitchen, heater, security light, and storytelling app all in one. With worse customer support, around fire, children learned where to sit, what not to touch, and why grabbing the glowing orange stick was a very bad idea. The lesson was clear. Some knowledge enters the brain through words. Some enters through experience, and some enters through one dramatic adult yelling before your tiny hand reaches the flame. Food was another survival trick. Ancient children could not simply order mashed sweet potatoes and complain about the spoon color. They needed soft, safe, shareable food. Adults could chew tough foods, soften them, cook them, mash them. Divide them and pass them around. This mattered because human children grow slowly. Their brains are expensive. Their bodies need years of feeding before they become useful food collectors themselves, from a purely practical viewpoint. Children are a terrible short-term investment. They eat, they cry, they fall over, they ask questions with their whole face. But long-term, they are everything, so groups that shared food well gave children a better chance. A successful hunter did not only feed himself. A skilled gatherer did not only feed herself. Food moved through relationships. Sharing was not just kindness, it was survival math. Then there were older children. Modern people often imagine ancient kids as tiny background characters, just sitting near a cave wall looking dusty. But children helped. Older siblings could carry younger ones, they could distract them, they could notice danger. They could copy adults and slowly learn useful skills. They probably played with sticks, stones, mud, leaves, bones, shells, and whatever object looked least likely to bite them, and this play was not meaningless. Play was training. Wearing a silly hat, chasing games built speed, throwing games trained aim, pretend hunting taught coordination. Copying adults taught tool use. Small social dramas taught children who was kind, who was bossy, who stole snacks, and who should not be trusted with the best digging stick. Ancient children learned by watching, trying, failing, laughing, and trying again. There was no classroom bell. The classroom was the whole world. Another trick was storytelling. A story could carry danger without requiring a child to personally test it. Do not go near that riverbank. Why? Because the mud can collapse, or because a crocodile lives there. Or because your cousin ignored this advice and became a very short cautionary tale. Stories helped children remember invisible rules. Which plants were safe, which animals were dangerous, which places were sacred, which sounds meant trouble. Which adults to follow when the group moved. A good story could turn fear into memory, and memory was portable survival gear. But the deepest trick was emotional. Human children do not only need calories and shelter, they need attention. They need faces, they need touch, they need someone to respond when they cry, reach, smile. Or panic because a beetle walked near their foot like it owned the place. Ancient babies were born into social worlds. Their brains expected people. A child who could charm adults, signal distress, follow eyes, copy expressions, and stay close to caregivers had an advantage. In a dangerous world, being cute was not just cute. It was strategy. Those round faces, big eyes, and dramatic cries were not random design choices. They were tiny survival buttons. Push this button and an adult picks you up. Push this button louder and 3 adults look over. Push this button at night, and everyone wakes up angry but alert. This is where the belief breaks. We often imagine ancient survival as muscles. Weapons and bravery, a strong hunter, a sharp spear, a fearless warrior standing against the darkness. But for children, survival was often softer. A warm body, a shared meal, a grandmother's hands, a sibling's warning. A story remembered at the right moment, a group that noticed when a child was missing. The real ancient survival trick was not that every parent became superhuman. It was that no parent was supposed to be alone. And that is the twist. Human children may have survived because humans became unusually good at caring together. We did not just evolve bigger brains, we evolved bigger circles. A child's safety came from a web of people. Some related by blood, some connected by trust, some simply part of the same group, the same fire. The same dangerous world. That web turned helpless babies into learners, learners into helpers, helpers into adults, adults into storytellers, storytellers into ancestors, and now here we are. Modern parents have diapers, medicine, clean water, baby seats, advice books, and tiny socks that disappear into another dimension. But many parents also feel more alone than ever. 1 or 2 adults are expected to do what may once have been done by a whole network of people. Feed the child, teach the child, watch the child, protect the child, entertain the child, calm the child, understand the child. Also answer emails and remember where the car keys are. Maybe modern parenting feels overwhelming, not because modern parents are weak. Maybe it feels overwhelming because an ancient group project became a private household assignment. That does not mean the past was better. The past had danger, disease, hunger, and absolutely terrible Wi-Fi. But it does suggest something powerful. Children are not designed only for objects, they are designed for people. And parents are not designed only for pressure, they are designed for support. The ancient tricks that saved human children were not magical. Carry them close, keep them warm, share food. Teach through play, tell stories, let older children help, let grandparents matter, let the group notice. Simple tricks, but together, they built the bridge from fragile babies to modern humanity. so the next time a baby cries in public, maybe do not only hear noise, maybe hear an ancient alarm system still working perfectly after thousands of years. And when a tired parent looks like they have been emotionally defeated by a person who cannot tie their own shoes, maybe remember this: for most of human history, raising a child was not meant to be a solo boss fight. It was a tribe quest, and if human children survived because everyone helped, then what does that say about the way we're trying to raise them today?